All right, we're gonna get a little bit now into psoas and iliacus.
Yeah. So the psoas attaches as a hip flexor into the thigh bone itself, and then it comes across deep in the abdomen across the front of the spine. So in order to find the psoas, and then it's often, you hear it called the iliopsoas, because the iliacus runs along the face, the inner face of the pelvis. So when we want to get in there, I'm going to get in with my thumb first, and then I'm going to have Tim get his own thumb in here. And the idea is, what does the hip flexor do? Well, it flexes the hip. So as Tim starts to lift his thigh towards his chest, feel that guy tighten up?
Oh, yeah.
You want to be able to distinguish that from your abdominal muscles. So tighten up your abdominal muscles, and you'll feel it's on the surface. See how it pushes my finger out? And then relax. Let the tummy, let the abdominals relax. Now bring your knee to your chest, and you'll feel this muscle tighten up. It's usually quite tender, even on people that have been working on their flexibility. So I typically have somebody like Tim come around and go, okay, Tim, take your thumb, stick it in there. And what you're imagining you're trying to do is take your thumb, if this is the pelvis itself, you're trying to take your thumb and slide it inside the pelvis, because the muscle belly sits along the face of the pelvis on that inner face. And then if Tim's there, start to bring your knee up to your chest. You should feel a muscle tighten up, and then let it go. You do not have to bring your leg up all the way. Just a very slight, what Tim will find is as soon as he starts to lift his leg, it turns on. That's all I want him to do right now. Just get to know the muscle. Don't get in there and start beating on it, because if you do that, you're just gonna piss it off, and it's gonna tighten up more. It's gonna become more reactive. Your first goal is, imagine this area has been traumatized, and you're trying to de-traumatize the area. So you get your finger in, you start to relax, you turn it on, you turn it off. You lift your leg a little bit, you feel the muscle tighten up, you let it all relax. And then once it relaxes, he'll notice that the muscle feels like it's not as fat. It's not protecting as much. Then he can start to get in there, and he'll notice it's not as tender. Now the psoas, I've got to come down deeper in, and this is where, if you don't really know the anatomy, you got to be really careful, because you're coming down into areas where there's a lot going on. If you feel a pulse, something like one thump, 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 you're not on the muscle, you're on an artery. I'd get off of it. So the idea though is, same idea, if I'm coming in nice and easy, start to lift your leg. You feel that muscle tighten up right away, and then relax. And you can notice I'm in here, I'm down in his abdomen, but it's not his abdominals. Go ahead and tighten your abdominals again. Those muscles push me up and out of the area, which is okay. I want to let them do it. They're trying to push me up and out. I'll let them, don't fight. But if I can get him to relax his belly, again, gently lift your leg, bring your knee to your chest, feel it tighten up, and then let go. That's all I want to begin. Just get to know the muscle, be nice to it, and make it more of a conversation between Tim being able to find his own hip flexor. To me, that's the number one thing. If you can learn to turn on that muscle, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. Now when I go to stretch it, I already have developed a conversation with it, and I can now get the muscle to relax so I can get some length out of it. A lot of times when we're doing stretching, that one of the biggest mistakes we make is we don't know how to turn the muscle off. We're stretching it, it hurts, and so guess what the muscle's doing? It's tightened up. Well, you'll never stretch a muscle that's contracting, so without tearing it. So we want to gain length in the tissue, so I need to start with learn to turn the muscle on, learn to turn the muscle off.
Awesome, thank you.